Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Tianshi Club. How are y'all doing today? Hello, hello hemoglobin. Hello, welcome. Morning mix monkey. That's some alliteration. How's it going? Hello, Shatter. Hello. Pretty well. Monkey just finished up a nice tasty snack. I don't know if you know what in English I've heard it called. You know what, in English the English name that I think sounds the cutest is the one borrowed from Japanese, which is yuba. But the direct translation from Chinese, which is what Monkey was most familiar with up until recently, is called tofu skin. It's the it's tofu that's been created by pulling it off just the top of the coagulating liquid, the soy milk. Just pulling it off the top in sheets is really good. Just had a bit of that as a snack. With some sesame oil and delicious. How about you, Shatter? How are you doing? Konbanwa, Monkey-chan. I read it as Monkey, but I guess it's technically Saru-chan. Konbanwa, Mongoose-kun. Welcome. It's good to see you. How's it going? Monkey also has some nice jasmine tea right now. Goes well with the tofu. Speaking of Japanese, Monkey was thinking I'd do some Japanese practice today with more Duolingo. So I give that a try, huh? Snack hype, right? Snacks are the best. I'm doing really well. Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Lots of fun stuff. Ooh, and announcements yesterday. Oh, I'm having quite a good one. Oh, can I ask what the announcements were? I'm sorry I missed them. Sounds like fun. ちょっと風邪 something をひいちゃった。風邪をひいちゃったか? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. 風邪 I don't know this kanji actually. I hope you feel better soon, Mongoose. That's the worst. Oh, kaze. This is just the kanji for kaze. Oh, I see. I saw that kaze is spelled with wind, so I assumed. I hope you feel better soon, Mongoose. Okay, let's see. Maybe I can get the Duolingos up, huh? I do. It's about a manga series I follow. Hunter x Hunter is coming back to publication on the 26th, if I read right. Oh my goodness! Wow! That's incredible! You know, I kept hearing people say Hunter x Hunter is coming back. Hunter x Hunter is coming back. But no one was really sure if they could believe it. Sounds like it's happening. That's great! Monkey's never read the manga version. Maybe Monkey should pick it up, I don't know. But Monkey really liked the anime version, more so than Monkey ever expected. Cause Monkey used to watch some shonen anime as a baby monkey, but since then, and even when Monkey was a baby monkey, I guess I never got really into shonen. Excuse me. I never really got super into shonen, so I figured even though it's considered the best shonen, maybe I wouldn't be interested in it. But eventually one of my bros convinced me to watch with him. He said it's so good he doesn't mind rewatching. Excuse me for the shuffling. This is a little bit. My tail isn't quite positioned right. Alright. But yeah, my bro convinced me to watch it with him, and it was pretty fun. And then it got incredible. So I'm glad I did. I wonder if I would like the manga as well. Oh, something. Kaze yeah, something. Monda. Oh, let me see. Is the long version? Jaku na kaze? Ah, Jaku na kaze! Demonda. Oh, I am sorry to hear that. Oh. I hope you get plenty of rest, plenty of fluids. I don't know what you guys do where you are for your colds, but Monkey gets plenty of fluids and plenty of vitamin C, which you can get from things like citrus fruits. And Monkey has lots of ginger and some rice porridge or chicken soup, something kind of easy on the stomach, and then just sleep. Just sleep. How long has it been on hiatus? I only picked it up recently. Oh geez. I think it's been on hiatus for many years now. I don't know how many. Rare Monkey stream. Hello, Koharu-chan! Welcome! Good to see you! How you doing? Yeah, Monkey's trying out this time. It worked well last time. We'll see how it goes this time. It's happening. That whole week is going to be quite busy for me, Lamar. Is that so? That whole week, huh? On the 26th? Oh, I see. So it's an early birthday present, it sounds like. Hunter x Hunter coming back. Bio 3 and Persona 5 on PC. Oh, and Kamen Rider Black Sun. Oh, all within a 7-day period have me quite the excited clown. Maybe they're getting ready, Shatter. They want to make sure they got all their gifts in time for the celebration. At the end of this month. Ja'aku. Just making sure I'm pronouncing it correctly now. Ja'aku. Hemoglobin. I believe it's been on hiatus for quite a while. Almost 3 or 4 years. The author unfortunately suffers from quite bad back problems. Oh, is that why? I had no idea. I thought it was just a thing that they did. Oh. So hiatuses are rather frequent. Ah, that makes sense. Well then I'm glad to hear they're feeling well enough to keep creating. That sounds pretty tough. So it may go on hiatus again soon, huh? Oh, sounds like, huh? Well, fingers crossed they continue to feel well. Hello, Tsune. Welcome. Welcome to the Tianshi Club. Bless. I just come to say hello. My boss will be angry with me. Oh, be careful. See you in Spanish. Nos vemos. Oh? Monkey doesn't speak Spanish, unfortunately. The day was when stream. Have a good stream. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I see. Nos vemos means see you. Ah, thank you, thank you. Actually, the translation is very helpful. Monkey loves learning languages. What are you doing over there, kitty? No making trouble. One moment. Monkey needs to, Monkey needs to check on this situation. One moment, please. Okay, Monkey is back. Sorry for the quick run around. The kitties were perhaps getting into trouble, but I think it's been resolved, hopefully. You gotta keep an eye on that one. I like this idea, though. An early Halloween celebration. Yeah, yeah. Oh. May. Oh. Something cha wa yoi kaeta? Kangaeta? Mo tenai kedo. Let's see. Kanji. Shoga. Ah, shoga. Ah, that's how you spell shoga. Good to know. I do love shoga. Oh, lemon. Ah, lemon. Lemon has a kanji? Now that seems unusual. Lemon no kanji? Usually I just see that in katakana. And then this one is this kanji. Make sure Monkey got it correctly. Lemon cha. Oh, lemon cha. That sounds pretty good. That's a great one. Lemon tea. Or ginger and lemon tea. That's what Monkey tends to drink too. Big good. So, shoga to lemon cha wa yoi kangaeta. Waita. Motte nai kedo. Ah, you don't have? Oh. Yoi? That is yoi, right? Itotto. Well, I hope there's something else that you can have that would be nice. Bought a spicy hot dog and added extra spicy. Oh, nice. That sounds great, Koharu-chan. Monkey likes hot dogs and spicy. Monkey's a big fan of spicy. Not particularly for the spicy flavor, though that does add a bit of fun. Or not because of the spiciness, so much as because it usually tastes pretty good. But I suppose the spiciness is a part of that. A part of what makes it taste good too, I think. Unfortunately, the author overworked himself quite a lot while working on his previous series. But it became an incredibly popular shonen series for its time, so Jump is willing to work with him. Makes sense. Being a mangaka is very difficult. As far as Monkey understands, it's very strenuous. Welcome back. Oh, thank you. mean trick. Are you pulling tricks on Monkey Mongoose? Oh dear, oh dear. Welcome back, funny monkey. Oh, thank you, thank you. I love lemon tea. Me too, me too. When monkey's feeling like something relaxing, it doesn't necessarily feel like the ginger. I do a nice lemon honey tea is really good. There's also kohi. Kohi! Yeah, I've seen that one. That one's hilarious. Because some places in Japan, they want to look fancy. And so they put it up on the signs. Kohi in kanji. I kind of could recognize that one because in Chinese, the word for coffee is cafe, and it's spelled almost the same way, except the radical on the far left, the repeated one you see there that looks like king on the left there. I think it's in Chinese it's just mouth because you eat it. I don't know why it's king in Japanese. And lychee. Oh, lychee. Lychee is interesting because you would think they would just borrow that from the Chinese kanji, right? Reishi. Reishi. Is that how you say it? Reishi. Oh. Let me see. What does that mean in Chinese? Is that also lychee? Lychee. I think so. Yeah, 栗子. That makes sense actually. That comes directly from the Chinese as far as I can tell. Slightly different because Japanese sometimes do kanji slightly different from Chinese, but it's about the same. So I think the 字, usually for lychee, I think the 字 would be a different 字. Not the sort of eda sort of kanji, but more like the ko sort of kanji. I would assume. Let me see. I copy this. Oh no, it uses the same one. 荔枝. That's lychee. Huh, I wonder how that happened with the coffee radicals, right? I wonder why. I wonder why they didn't just borrow it directly. The mouth makes sense to monkey. The mouth is actually used often in Chinese to imply that you're using the sound of the kanji more so than the meaning. Like with cafe, it doesn't really mean anything in Chinese. Cafe. But it sounds like coffee, so they put the mouth next to it. I don't know why in Japanese they went kohi with the how you say, with the king radical. So interesting. So interesting. Honto mochi? Hontoji? Honteji? On something number no something. Lots of kanji. So much kanji. Ateji. Ah, phonetic equivalent. Yeah, that sounds correct to me. Onsei higo no tame. Oh, yeah. That all gets confused and messed up in Japanese though, because a lot of times I notice the kanji, they make sense if you pronounce it the Chinese way, but if you pronounce it the Japanese way, it makes absolutely zero sense. No sense whatsoever. Like in ryoshin. It's long O, isn't it? Ryoshin. The second character, shin, so ryoshin means parents. And the kanji Oh, lullaby hype. The kanji more or less straight up means both parents. But the parents character you usually pronounce like oya. But since ryoshin is a compound that's kind of based off Chinese, I guess, you pronounce it shin. Whereas then there's the kanji for atarashi. Atarashi. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. This is just a thing Monkey has seen, so maybe someone will know better, but atarashi and the shin in ryoshin or ryoshin, yeah, is the left side radical is the same. And so Monkey always thinks of this as making sense because in Chinese the pronunciation of new, atarashi, I think it's the same character. Now I'm gonna look it up. Atarashi. It is shin, like shin. How would shin? So flat. Shin is how you pronounce it. So atarashi makes sense that it would also be shin, but it's not. It's atarashi and oya, and they have absolutely no similarity. But if you go to the onyomi for both ryoshin's shin, so oya, the onyomi, and also atarashi, the atara part, I guess. They both have the onyomi or Chinese pronunciation of shin. And so that's why I think they probably have the same left radical. I'm not sure, but I get the feeling it's a pronunciation thing. Would Monkey prefer coffee or tea? Monkey tends to be more of a tea monkey, but I'm not against coffee. I really like the flavor of coffee, but I don't tend to be able to enjoy black coffee very much. I usually have it with milk and sugar. I have a really nice Vietnamese coffee that I can make recently that's really tasty, for example. But Monkey has been practicing. Monkey has been trying to learn to like black coffee a little bit more because you can taste the flavors a lot better when you don't put anything in it, right? Kind of like with tea. Monkey likes all kinds of tea with milk and sugar or without. And when you don't put anything in it, you can have these really deep, subtle flavors come through. So really high quality tea, often Monkey doesn't drink with anything, adding anything to it. So I kind of been trying to understand. I've been trying to understand the enjoyment of coffee. It was tough, but I had some good experiences, and so I'm starting to get there. I don't know if I would drink a lot of it though, because it's really caffeinated, and Monkey is super sensitive to caffeine. So drinking black coffee is a lot of caffeine. Because you're not cutting it with other things. But I'm starting to be able to appreciate it. Though I would probably still reach for tea over black coffee most of the time. Lullaby hype, yeah! Atechi. I learned a lychee one because one of the esteemed Nanaha clan? What clan is that? That's not hot, is it? Fujo. Oh, like the JoJo's? Fujo. Lullaby monkey. Mama monkey. How about this? Oh, kanji. Ri. It ends in a ri or a z. However you pronounce that. What is this? Oh. Is this another one of those idioms? Oh yeah? How do you even pronounce this? Let's Ka. Nori o. Oh? What is that, Mongoose? Ah, onyomi versus kunyomi. Yeah, well, onyomi versus kunyomi is a really interesting thing linguistically. Especially because kanji will often have one onyomi and multiple kunyomi, but may also have multiple onyomi. And that's just a historical artifact of kanji being symbols that were fitted into an existing language but taken from a different language that also has a bunch of different dialects. Kanji really are like symbols, more so than even Chinese, because in Chinese it's one symbol, one sound, one meaning. It's all unified, a single word. Though the sound does get a little tricky depending on dialect, but even within the dialects, it's still one sound per word. But since Japanese needed a writing system, they just took a bunch of kanji from China and matched them loosely based on meaning. Kinda like if everyone took the dollar symbol, and that from now on meant their own currency. So the dollar symbol could be pronounced dollar, it could be pronounced yen, it could be pronounced, I don't know, rupee, or euro, or euro. Euro, euro. I can never say the German one properly. You pronounce it based on the context. And so they took their own words. That's what became the kunyomi. They took their own words and applied them to these characters, and so that's why there's a million different ways to pronounce it. And then they took the Chinese pronunciation and put that under onyomi, is what they called it. Not that normal people probably cared too much about the names of what these were, but you know, grammarians put it under these categories. And so every kanji has at least 2, usually more pronunciations. And the onyomi, you would think like, okay, well at least there's just one onyomi. But because the word is borrowed from China, and China has a lot of different dialects, and those dialects sometimes evolve over time, depending on where or when they decided to borrow another pronunciation, they might add a new onyomi pronunciation, a new Chinese pronunciation, because, oh, this one we got from Canton, but this one we got from, you know, the I don't know, somewhere else. Fujian. And so then there's suddenly multiple Chinese pronunciations as well. But you can generally think of onyomi as the Chinese pronunciations and kunyomi as the local Japanese words that pre-existed these kanji. Oya versus atarashi. Yes, exactly. Yes, thank you, Hemoglobin, for typing it out. You can see that the left radical is the same for both of them. And for oya, the right character is to watch. So it's a... Monkeys heard the, how you say, the mnemonic that your parents are always watching you. Come to think of it, is that kanji used in Chinese anymore, I wonder? Let me see. Curious now. Because in Chinese, the way Monkey mostly sees it is you see like fumu or qin, oh, like muqin. Oh, yeah. Okay, Monkey knows this one. It makes it fancier if you use this kanji. Muqin, fuqin, fumu, fuqin, fumu. If it's fumu, then it must be fuqin. Monkey needs to learn my tones before I say something terrible accidentally. Hi now, how are you? I'm having a bread and coffee. I know, not tea. Oh, hello, Hiki! Welcome! Oh, thank you for sharing. That sounds nice. Bread and coffee? We accept all beverages here. Do you tend to drink your coffee black? Or do you have espresso? Brazilian coffee in Brazil was Monkey's first experience with a black coffee that Monkey actually enjoyed. It was an espresso. after a nice heavy Brazilian meal. Do monkey know any language other than English? Oh, my only fluent language is English, unfortunately. That's why I'm trying really hard to learn Japanese right now. And as soon as I feel vaguely conversationally competent in Japanese, I'm gonna switch over to Chinese, which I was learning before, but kind of fell off for a while. And I want to get conversational in Chinese. After that, there's a bunch of Indo-European languages that Monkey would like to learn, like Portuguese or German or everything. That Monkey has only briefly dabbled in the past. But little by little, Monkey wants to become a polyglot monkey. Because native Japanese words are completely unrelated to the Chinese vocabulary. Yeah, exactly. It's Red Riot. Oh! Red Riot? He's a character in My Hero Academia who can harden his skin. I do know this character. Red Riot. Okay, well that, my friend, is a great example of Japanese kira names. Weird thing you can do with Japanese. I don't know why they let people do this, but it's kind of funny. Since Japanese phonology and Japanese kanji have this history and I guess ethos within the culture of having no strong interrelationship, there's this trend of for lack of a better words, I'm gonna say kira names because that's what you call it when you name your child this way. Where you take kanji that mean one thing and then you say, but it's pronounced this other way. Like, in Sound Euphonium, they have a character whose name is spelled if you read the kanji normally, it'd just be Midori. But her parents say her name is Sapphire. And sometimes for comedic effect or dramatic effect, manga will do this as well. They'll name moves or other things, they'll write them down with one kanji, but put hiragana next to it so you know it's pronounced a different way. It's a very unique form of wordplay that I don't think I've seen any other language capable of doing. So if you've heard of any, let me know. That'd be pretty cool. But they're able to ascribe basically two meanings to a thing because they can add kanji to a pronunciation. Especially for things like non-Japanese words. You can just make up kanji for it. Red Riot, aka Best Boy. Is Red Riot your favorite character, Hiroaka character shatter? Tsukuyomi is best verb. Tsukuyomi is a pretty good verb, I will have to say. Valid. I guess so. Oops. Okay, let's go. Yeah, good experiences are probably the basis for any acquired taste. Yeah, definitely. Monkey's mentioned this in the past, but with certain foods, bad experiences made it so that Monkey couldn't appreciate the food until I had a good experience with it, and then suddenly I could appreciate the food from then on. It's very interesting. And having those good experiences also helps you weather the bad experiences. Because you try one that's not as good and you're like, oh, this isn't as good, but I can still see the enjoyable parts of it. Obviously, if it's terrible, but I mean the less than standout experiences. I also have good experiences with coffee. That's nice. That's nice. What kind of good experiences? Just very tasty or good situations? 鳥と言えば、鳥と言えば、and then that kanji is too small for monkey to read. お、呼べ？鳥といえば、フクロウを呼べ。そう、フクロウ as in フクロウでいや、青の呼べ？The Kujos are a family of vampire VTubers. Oh, that's cute. That's great. Oh, that's nice. A family. That's wonderful. Monkey loves that kind of thing. That's a funny pronounce. Nyomi? You mean onyomi? Onyomi. If I were to guess, onyomi probably means probably means sound pronunciation. So yomi like how to read, and on like hatsuon like or ongaku like sound. I wonder. But then kunyomi, maybe kun means like group, like within Japan. I wonder. Isn't that word a bit yabai? Wait, I'm exposing myself by asking that. Eh? Which word, Mihiki? I don't think I know which one you mean. Can't remember saying anything that sounded a bit yabai. I guess that's the problem with Monkey. Accidentally saying something strange in a different language is a great fear of mine. It's so easy to do in Chinese, it's the worst. Monkey's always terrified of it, but I gotta practice somehow. In Chinese it's the worst because Monkey didn't properly learn tones as a baby monkey. I should have. I was gonna say I wasn't exposed, but I was exposed. I was just lazy. Since Monkey became fluent in a non-tonal language, and then did not become conversational enough in a tonal language at a young age, Monkey's ear for tones is not well developed. In that I can hear them, but they don't register as part of the word for me. They register as part of the phrase, kind of like, like the flow of a phrase rather than the word. And so, since they don't get locked into the word, when I move the word out of context, I get them all wrong. Like I can say ni hao. That one's easy, right? But if you ask me what's the tone for ni and what's the word for hao, ni hao, I have to think about it. If I didn't think about it in terms of the phrase, I might be like, oh, how, I don't know. Could be any. That one's a silly example because these are both very common words. So monkeys developed better associations with them, but yeah, monkey needs to learn tones. And the problem is because tones are important in Chinese, you can be thinking you're saying the right thing by saying all the correct phones, all of the correct sounds, but you got your tones wrong, and so that's at least 3 other possible meanings for each word. And it can turn into something very strange. For example, there are Chinese poems, tongue twisters, that they just use the same sound over and over again but change the tone. Monkey never learned any of these because they terrify me. So that's the scary part of Chinese. Now the scary part about Japanese for a lot of people, that I think a lot of people might not even realize, is that Japanese has something called phonemic vowel length. Like nowadays, with people like Dogen being more popular, people know more about things like pitch accent. But one thing that should be immediately obvious, but everyone kind of forgets, is phonemic vowel length, which means that the length of a vowel changes its meaning. And this is not something that, for example, an English speaker is used to. Apparently Latin had it. So there might be some languages out there in the Latin sphere that might still have it, but I think most lost it. So, for example... maybe I shouldn't say this example, because Monkey is not good at phonemic vowel length either. So, there's an important phrase, there's an important concept in Japanese tea ceremony called matsukaze, which means the wind in the pines. Literally pine wind. Matsukaze. And this is beautiful from a sort of Zen meditative imagery aspect, and also is the sound that the pot, the hot water kettle, is supposed to make when it's reached exactly the right temperature for making tea. It really does too, it's beautiful. And so matsukaze is very important. But matsukaze uses the kunyomi, the Japanese pronunciations. And if you're going to do things fancy in Japanese, sometimes to make them fancy, you switch over to the Chinese pronunciations. That's Monkey's interpretation. But if you pronounce these in the Chinese pronunciation, let me make sure I get this correct too. So, matsukaze. So the pronunciation in Chinese of matsu is shou, long o, and the pronunciation of kaze is fu. I don't know the pitch accent either. Fu. Luckily, pitch accent actually doesn't mess things up so much as phonemic vowel length, because pitch accent mostly doesn't change the meaning of words. Occasionally it will, and those will trip you up, but mostly it doesn't. Whereas phonemic vowel length always changes the word. So shou, fu, you need them both to be long in order for it to mean wind in the pines. But if you make the first one longer than the second one, it means prostitute. And the problem is, the main problem here, the big tripping factor for if, for example, you are a native English speaker, is that for native English speakers, not only is there not phonemic vowel length, but stress, which Japanese doesn't have, comes naturally to us. We are not used to removing stress from words. We can hardly imagine words without stress. So when we speak other languages without stress, we still add stress. And for shoufu, the likely thing that you're going to do is put stress on the first syllable, just because that's how we do things. That's just innately sort of like programmed into our brains now. But the thing about stress is that stress does a few things. It makes it louder, and it makes it longer. And maybe one other thing. But the longer part means that if you accidentally stress the first syllable, to a Japanese ear, it'll sound like you've lengthened the first syllable but not the second, which changes it again from this beautiful matsukaze, oh, beautiful sound and imagery, to prostitute. Monkeys had gotten a little bit in trouble with this in the past. Luckily, Monkey Sensei knows that Monkey is a native English speaker and doesn't speak Japanese, so she just very gently but firmly corrects Monkey. Now Monkey is afraid to say that word. Okay, tangent. Good luck, adorable monkey. Oh, thank you, Louis Aguillon. Oh, welcome. I am just monkey though, just a regular monkey. I have with milk usually. Ah, yeah. Here we have a history with coffee. I think we were the biggest exporters in the past. Oh, are you guys still the biggest exporters, or did somewhere else take over? Can't confirm, though I did went to a museum about coffee history here. Ah, that sounds like a lot of fun, actually. Oh, that seems like something Monkey would like to try next time. Next time I'm in the area, I'm gonna look up coffee museum. That sounds like fun. And chocolate. Brazilian chocolate's really good. I mean, Brazilian doces are just incredible to begin with. You have amazing fruit, you have amazing milk, you have amazing coffee. I mean, what? Doces are incredible. Omniglot now. Hype, eventually. You know, if I do get to live forever, since I do have that 1 degree of immortality, perhaps one day I will be the Omniglot. Learn all languages that have ever been known. That seems impossible though, because some languages have been lost sadly. But maybe learn all the languages that could possibly be known. Monkey would love that. Oh no, Kira names. I'm getting Fate flashbacks. Does Fate have a lot of Kira names in it? So I tell her about the tomato episode of Gingama. Tomato episode? That sounds interesting. Red Riot is my favorite, yes. You know, I could see that. It gives us quite strong Mumen Rider vibes sometimes. Well, his backstory is quite touching. Yeah, he does have Mumen Rider vibes. He's like super wholesome and cheerful and easy to get along with. A lot of people noticed, for example, that back when Bakugo was really really not integrated with the rest of the class because he still was holding on to some of that animosity, I guess, animosity that pervaded him throughout his young childhood, right? As that started to burn off, he integrated with the class, right? But before that happened, his first friend in a way, his closest friend now because of it, was Red Riot. Because he's just so friendly and he's willing to overlook Bakugo's insanity, and he can stand up to it too, because Bakugo explodes things, but Red Riot is somewhat impervious to his smaller explosions. So the two got along well, and he became friends with Bakugo and kind of brought him into the fold. That was Monkey's impression. It was because he befriended Bakugo that Bakugo was able to show his more likable side to the rest of the class. The rest of the class was able to see that, oh, Bakugo, he has this temper, but he's sweet in his own way too, and he became part of the class, you know? So I always really liked that aspect of Red Riot. I forget what his what his civilian name is right now. But I really liked that aspect. I don't know how to put it into words, but that just sort of genial aspect of him where he's easygoing and he's friendly and he can see the good in everyone. His backstory, unfortunately, Monkey also forgets right now. I remember there was a nice arc where they went into it, and I remember feeling touched by it. But I don't remember what it was because Monkey's memory is like a sieve. Like a colander, let's say. Sometimes some things stay in the colander, like the fresh veggies that you're washing, but sometimes things fall out. Hola, no, amiga. Saludos, buenos dias. Hello, White Bears. Welcome. Good to see you. Onyomi is sound reading, yes. Ah, I see. See, knowing the pronunciations of kanji, they help you figure things out sometimes. Onyomi. Phonetic reading. No word. Nobody will know. You're just gonna keep it to yourself, Hiki. This is your secret now. Oh, now Monkey's really curious. Oh dear. What could Monkey have said? Oof. I was just lazy. I can relate. Yeah. Yeah. Especially when you are baby monkey, right? Or I suppose baby human for all of you. It's hard to know the value of certain things when they don't have immediate value in your immediate environment, because you don't have the life experience to know the other possible cases in which they might be valuable. And so Monkey was actually raised multilingual, you might say. Monkey was raised surrounded by multiple languages, but because everyone was able to speak English well enough around Monkey, Monkey was lazy and defaulted to English as much as possible. And so that's why, despite having so much exposure to other languages, which does help Monkey with pronunciation because Monkey didn't lose the sounds, Monkey lost some other things like tones. And so, and baby Monkey was like, yes, these other languages are cool, but why would I ever need them? Clearly everyone around me speaks English. Baby Monkey didn't have the foresight to see that Monkey, first of all, would eventually really like languages in general. They were so cool. Monkey loves language just for the sake of language. Monkey might have realized this, but didn't realize it at the time. But one thing that I think Monkey might never have realized, just because of the exposure that Monkey got, was that actually it's great to be able to communicate with people in regions across the world, right? And Monkey was spoiled, and so most people can speak English across the world these days. So Monkey thought, oh, well, just stick to English then. Like all of you. A lot of you have multiple languages, right? And English isn't even your native speaking language. But you can all speak English. And so Monkey's very lucky and privileged that the language that I learned to native speaker levels is English, so I can talk with all of you. But in some ways, Monkey thinks it'd be really nice if I could speak with you all in more languages than English, and expand to other places where English is not so common. And especially with these languages that Monkey really enjoys, and with these cultures that Monkey really enjoys, being able to understand the language gives you a whole different understanding of the culture and access to the culture. So Monkey didn't realize this as baby Monkey, and was lazy, and was like, I just keep speaking English. Monkey now sees why. It was common where Monkey grew up that baby monkeys would always be told, you're gonna wanna know this when you're an adult. And baby monkeys were always like, yeah, I get it. You don't get it. I don't know if there's a way to make baby monkeys understand. But using the plasticity of your brain as a baby to make sure these things solidify at a young age, even before you realize why they might be important. I don't know how to motivate baby monkeys to do that. I wish I knew, because I wish I could go back in time and do that to myself. Can't relate, because in English we use tones, but they hardly ever affect what word a word is. We use them to indicate the significance of a word. Yeah, tones are a little different. So linguistically, we like to give special names to things, right? Tones do have a relationship to stress, in that they're both about how the sound itself is said, and but tones usually refer specifically to a pattern of pitch, different from pitch accent, which encompasses encompasses multiple syllables. Tones are a pattern of pitch within a single syllable. And so the difference is, and then stress. Oh, by the way, stress is again a pattern, across multiple syllables, that I guess includes things, as I mentioned, like length and volume. So I suppose when Monkey says something like that, I suppose the O is only a single syllable, and it changes in pitch in order to give you a meaning of what Monkey is thinking, which in this case is that Monkey is pondering about it in the middle of talking. So I suppose English does have tone in that regard, now that you make me think about it. We just don't really think about it, because like you said, it's almost like, it adds nuance. Monkey's gonna have to think about that one. Rincewind of the Discworld books can scream in 15 different languages. Important sense, can mean your mother is a big pink hippo. Oh, I see. Monkey hasn't read Discworld, but I read a little bit of the first chapter, so I kind of get the tone. I know it's supposed to be a joke, but actually... Oh, I wish I had learned this properly. But you know how roosters, the sound a rooster makes, the way it is said in different languages is different. So, like... In Japanese it's kokekoko, and in... I forget all the other ones, except in Vietnamese, and Monkey's not gonna get this right because Vietnamese has a million tones. There's a million tones. And Monkey does not know any of them. But in Vietnamese it's something like oh, and it's all the same sound but different tones. It's the sound of the rooster. So, it can happen. Recently, Monkey, I was practicing volitional forms like しよう or 食べよう 遊ぼう this sort of thing. And one that always makes Monkey laugh is, to me, is 会う. So 会いました or 会う is just the plain form. But if you want to turn it volitional, it's 会おう 会おう. Sounds like a doggo to Monkey. Phonemic vowel length was much easier for me to pick up than Chinese tones are. That's interesting. May I ask, are you a native English speaker, or do you have... What is your language background? Do you have any other languages that use more vowel length? Monkey thought I was good at phonemic vowel length. I'm gonna put that out there too. I don't know how much you've spoken with Japanese native speakers. It's really important to make sure that you talk to a Japanese native speaker and have them correct you on these things, because sometimes you think you're okay at something and you're really not. Monkey thought I was good at phonemic vowel length. I thought I could lengthen things and shorten things until I realized that I was doing the stress pattern on things like, you know, matsukase. Matsukase's shoufu, shoufu. I gotta keep them the same length. I can't say shoufu. Shoufu sounds like the first one is longer, and as I said, that's a bad word. Similarly, kisako is means it's another sort of a Zen phrase for let's have tea. Kisako. And I thought I was pronouncing it correctly with the short kisako, but I guess I wasn't, because when Monkey talked to my sensei, she was like, the ki is short, you know. And I realized, oh, I thought I was making it short. Apparently I wasn't. And part of it, the problem is it's contextual, right? So perhaps I made the ko at the end too short compared to the ki. And so it didn't sound like the ki was short. And so I thought I was doing it correctly, but I was wrong. I thought, oh, this is easy. It's even spelled that way. But I was wrong. And then sometimes when it comes to memorizing words, like ryoshin, ryoshin, I have to remember ryo is long, not ryoshin. Ryoshin or ryokan. Ryokan, the ryo is short. Or ryoko. I keep thinking ryoko, but it's ryoko. And remembering these lengths when I'm not studying, when I'm not memorizing, just picking them up and keeping them in my head the proper length is difficult. I keep thinking that, for example, the jo for josei, I keep thinking that jo is long, like ojo sama no ojo. So I would say josei or joshikosei, but it's joshikosei. Ko is long, isn't it? Joshikosei. Joshikosei. It's difficult. Hello, Monkey-san. Hello, Eduardo. Welcome, welcome. Pitch accents can be different in different regional dialects. Dangerous. Also true, also true. Though typically the idea is just learn a single dialect as much as you can, and usually that'll be the standard Japanese dialect. And once you get that down, that'll be fine. If you have occasional words here and there using pitch accents from somewhere else because you learned those words somewhere else, that'll be alright because you'll be understandable. The problem is if you start mixing, if you're learning from two different regional accents and you start mixing the two, you might start to sound kind of funky. So, earlier what I said was, speaking of birds, call the owl. Oh, call the owl! Call the owl! Oh, I see, I see! I thought you said, speaking of birds, the owl's call. I thought about it as a noun, but that makes a lot more sense. Call the owl? Unfortunately, I don't know how to call the owl. Oh yeah, this was a Duolingo stream. Oh. Oh yeah! Oh no! You're right. Monkey's brain has gone so far off on tangents now that I completely forgot. Didn't realize what you meant. This is a Duolingo stream. Yes, we are doing some lingos. The owl will be here soon. He's just running a little late, that's all. Oh dear. Okay, soon. I will call up the owl soon. Matsukaze. Yeah! That one. The second one has one fewer syllable. You sort of have to remember spelling. Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things that Monkey still has to be very conscious of. And it's not just conscious, right? There are things that Monkey does unconsciously that I won't pick up until a native speaker tells me. Like the fact that if I accidentally put stress on the first syllable of shoufu, even right now I can't tell if I'm saying it correctly because the difference between what's considered long and what's considered short is not something that Monkey has a feel for. It's kind of like how Monkey was talking about colors before, and how in different languages the cutoff between green and blue are different. If you're talking to someone from a different culture and looking at a greenish blue color, and you think it's blue, but they think it's green, that's a problem. That's the problem that Monkey has with phonemic vowel length. The scariest problem is I can think I'm doing it right, but actually be doing it wrong. At least with tones, Monkey has a good enough feel for the standard Mandarin tones that I won't accidentally do it wrong without realizing it. I will know I did it wrong. Wow, Monkey-san is a word doctor of some kind. Just a regular monkey. Fate follows the tradition of furikana above the kanji, telling you how to pronounce it. Yes. I see. Oh, that's a lot of something sareta. Oh, I used to know this. Musubi ni no something. No, katsuri. Katsuri no something. Or sword of promised victory, pronounced naturally as Excalibur. Okay, that's really pushing it. Because this isn't even fully kanji. This has some kana in between. That's pushing it. I don't know. Oh dear. So this must be 約束されて、katsuri no ken? Something like that. Oh dear. This is free serotonin. Monkey-tonin even. Oh, welcome, Gira D. Welcome to the Tianshi Club. Monkey-tonin. Come get your monkey-tonin. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. I'm glad. In Gingaman, there is a golden power they are fighting over. Oh. It is also used to make Ginga Green get over his dislike of tomatoes. The bad guys show up because the power is in a red round thing. Wait, tomato? How does that make him get over it? Monkey likes tomatoes actually. They're very umami. I could talk about Red Riot / Kirishima. Ah, that's right. Thank you. Kirishima forever. Perhaps it's best I don't know. He's a good boy. We'll leave it at that. Okay. But yeah, he is a great character. Well, it's not exactly a wrong +18 or offensive word. It's more of a scientific term. Oh. Scientific term. Nope. Monkey has no idea. Still don't know. I feel like 2 hardly even counts. To what? Counterpoint, the way people teach languages officially is awfully boring. Ah, 2 languages you mean? You know, Mongoose, I'm gonna say this. Monkey has realized that around the world, people seem to discount the fact that they know 2 languages as something cool. And depending on where you're from, even people who know 3 languages discount it as something cool because everyone in the area knows 3 languages. But just think about all the native English speakers in the world. There's a lot of people whose native language is English. And that's their common use language. And they don't have any other common use languages. So their only native language is English. Places like Britain, North America, Australia. These places. Consider that the majority of people from these places are not bilingual. They can only speak English to a fluent extent, like Monkey. Then to all of these people who had the misfortune of having one of the common international languages being their only native language, these people, these misfortunate people, only have one language. And we are very much impressed and envious of even bilingual speakers. Even if Monkey knows a lot of bilingual speakers. Most bilingual speakers are like, oh yeah, you know, of course I speak. No, not of course. It's very cool. It's very cool. Let's see. Counterpoint, the way to teach languages officially is awfully boring. It can be, it's true. There's a reason most stuff that sticks in kids' heads is from colorful puppets, etc. Yeah. The official way of teaching most things is pretty boring, to be perfectly honest. And language is one of those things where, in Monkey's opinion, especially if you're teaching children, do not teach it academically. That is one thing that Monkey feels strongly about. I mean, you can teach it academically, but it's not gonna help. For example, I'm guessing y'all had to learn some amount of grammar even for your native language, right? And that was probably the most boring class. For Monkey, that was the most boring class. I hated learning grammar. I thought it was so boring and it was useless and prescriptive. Later on, Monkey learned more about linguistics and realized that I'm a descriptivist linguist, not a prescriptivist linguist, which tends to be pretty common actually amongst linguists. But I found it completely boring. But then later in life, I started finding it interesting, right? You know? Because babies don't learn language that way. There's no reason to teach them that way. Don't teach grammar. Babies learn from listening and speaking and just being immersed. Humans in general learn from being immersed very well. It just... your brain is more better wired for it when you're a baby. Monkeys are similar. So when they're still baby, teach them the natural way. Speak to them. Monkey does think that one of the reasons why I didn't learn the other languages in my area very well is because I learned them through school rather than speaking them with the people who knew them. I was surrounded by people who knew it, but we spoke English to each other, and I only learned it in school. So I heard the sounds and picked up the sounds, but never picked up the language. And you gotta make sure not just teach them through immersion, but teach them through their critical point. For humans, the critical point is around age 13 or so. Right around when puberty sets in, I suppose. Is when the brain decides that, okay, onaka ippai. I'm full of information now. Let's start optimizing. Let's get rid of the things that we probably won't need and hold on to the things that seem useful. This is called pruning. And so, if you're not careful, as your brain is going through this transition from I am baby, so I am learning everything and soaking up everything to an incredible degree and making connections. Babies are incredible, by the way. They're the most intelligent beings on the planet. Goes from baby brain to somewhat more solidified adult brain. During that pruning process, you gotta make sure that your brain is still hearing and using those languages, so that they don't get pruned away. So your brain doesn't go, yeah, I learned that, but it's not that important. I don't think I'll need it in my adult life, so we're just getting rid of it. Because once you go through the pruning, your brain has also transitioned to not picking things up quite as easily, quite as quickly as before. Still picks stuff up, but not as naturally, right? And so all of that stuff that came easy to you before, if you want to get it back, it's gonna take conscious effort. So, gotta make sure, hold on to it. That's what Monkey thinks. And now the question is, how do you make this happen? The thing that Monkey has seen work the best usually will make babies frustrated. It will make them frustrated, but eventually it will pay off if you really are strict and keep at it. Now, That's why Monkey's not sure I prefer this approach, but it's the best approach Monkey knows so far. Is force them to listen and speak the languages that you want them to be able to understand. So whatever environment they're in socially, that's going to be one language, right? So a common thing is that at home, speak with them the other language or languages that you want them to know. Force them to respond to you in that language. And that will keep that moving, keep that working in their brains throughout the pruning period. And then after that, you know, you can get lax, I guess. Don't get too lax, but after that, it'll have solidified. But if you're not strict about it, because it's so hard to be strict about something like that, especially with babies. Babies are cute. If it's hard to, if you're not strict about it, things will happen like they'll speak back to you in their local language rather than the language you're talking to them in, or they'll you know, and that'll make them lose part of it, for example, or they'll refuse to speak to you in, especially in cultures where speaking a different language feels very othering. They might refuse to speak a different language because they feel like their peers are gonna find them weird or something, right? You gotta be careful. Some cultures are like that, but I think it's so valuable, so valuable. Oh my goodness, Monkey keeps going on tangents. Are we ever going to get to the to the owl? Okay. I will try to go fast. If we don't catch up, I'll try to open Duolingo at least at some point. Exactly. I can speak only English fluently. Yeah, me too. Yep, that one was tough. Jo versus Jo vowel lengths. Well, yeah, especially because the meaning is so close, right? So it's easy to think they're the same thing. But to be fair, some Japanese people have trouble with this sort of thing too, and there are two words that have very similar meaning and pronunciation. Sometimes Japanese people will get it screwed up, will get it confused. One example is 駐車場. 駐車場 is a parking lot, and the 場 means place. But then there's 喫煙所. 喫煙所, where the 場 is long, which is a smoking area, and the 場 also means place. Now, Monkey's not even sure I've got this correct, but it's a common suffix to add either 場 or 場 to the end of a thing to be the place of that thing. And sometimes even native speakers of Japanese will forget or confuse which one goes where. And that makes sense because the meaning is almost exactly the same. The difference though for Monkey between ojo and ojo is that they do actually have different meanings, right? Jo is more like princessy. So it does have a different meaning. And that's something that a native speaker would not confuse. I'm pretty sure. And also, the difference is that Monkey doesn't hear it consciously all the time. If someone said majo, I wouldn't know if they said majo or majo. Unless I really paid a lot of attention. I think of the shorter O sound, like from bomb, and the long one, like in boat. That's an interesting way. Boat. But the thing is, those are actually very different sounds underlyingly, phonemically. So bomb is an ah sound. Monkey talking too much. Bomb is an ah sound, and o, boat, is an o sound. And specifically the the English language o diphthong, which does not exist in Japanese. Excuse me. Okay, let me drink a sip of tea. The ah sound is more like the Japanese ka, ka. It's closer to that. It's not the same. Not the same sound, but it's closer. Whereas o in boat, doesn't exist in Japanese because Japanese doesn't have that diphthong. The Japanese o is pretty straight actually, but it's very close to the diphthong o. So if you get rid of the diphthong part, if you can really wrap your brain around breaking that into a diphthong, into two sounds that meld into each other rather than one sound, break that apart and just drop the second part. What helps Monkey is sometimes to like start saying it and then stop yourself before before you finish. So o instead of o is the Japanese o. So o or o. So that's the difference between the sound there. Now if you diphthong it, o over versus o, it can somewhat change the length. We do tend to lengthen our diphthongs, but I don't think you tend to lengthen it enough to count as a long vowel in Japanese. Because a long vowel in Japanese is two full mora, which in English is hard to talk about because in English we talk about syllables, not mora, because we don't have this sort of vowel length sort of thing. But mora are like beats. Similar to like syllables are like beats, but even more rigid. So o versus o, and the thing is, it's all contextual, right? It's all contextual. Like you don't know what key you're in when you're singing until you've sung the first phrase, right? So in some cases, saying o might be considered the long version if I'm speaking really fast, for example. So it's sort of the ratio where the long o is 2 mora and the short o is 1 mora, which means that it's roughly double the length. Roughly. Now, the way this comes out in natural speech, Monkey doesn't know. And that's exactly why Monkey cannot hear for myself when I've actually crossed that boundary between the long and the short in a word. That's something I need to practice. But that's sort of the way it is. Kind of like how in Japanese the by itself is actually its own mora. So let's say like what's a good word with Sensei. Sensei is a word that actually has long vowel too, because the a is that one's kind of diphthonged, but Sensei. No, it's not really too diphthonged actually. But the takes up as much time as the se, se, I. Sensei. Sensei. It's not sensei. It's sensei. Though if you say it quickly, it might get short. I don't know. Vowel, or lengths of words is hard. There was quite a lot of lingo, to be fair. Oh, it's true! It's true! Lots of lingo happening. Oh dear, oh dear. Might be a slight hit of dopamine too. Dopamine? Like the really cool kind of dopamine? They his Ginga Green with the old "This is the world's tastiest tomato tree." Oh, they hit Ginga Green with the old "This is the world's tastiest tomato tree." Oh! You gotta try it. Monkey-san, I'm on that THC key. Oh, be careful then. That one's got a lot of power. He must not have expected it like this. Tamatama tomato, one could say. Tamatama tomato? What? do I need to know what a gerund form is? Right? Right? Why do I need to know these things? Now, of course, now Monki's trying to learn other languages in a more academic sense. I'm like, oh, please remind me what's the present perfect form. I don't know. Especially conjugated languages like a lot of Latin languages. When Monkey was trying to learn Portuguese, Monkey's brain fell apart. All of those conjugations, the present perfect, the whatever, and the Monkey had no idea what any of those are. If you come from a language that has those things, you might be able to learn them easier too. So difficult. Now Monkey wishes I learned what those were. But at the time, Monkey was like, why? I don't need to know this. This is ridiculous. Language is for understanding each other, not for putting down ridiculous rules that nobody cares about and naming things that nobody cares about and having to memorize those names. I still believe that that is the case, but now instead of seeing them as the end goal, learning these things as the end goal, I consider them tools to assist with my end goal. And kind of fun ways to think about things. I only learned any grammar once I started taking Spanish class in high school. Yeah, Monkey knows a lot of people who said they only really learned grammar when they tried to learn a second language. In fact, some of Monkey's family is that way. They didn't learn English as their first language. They learned it as their second language. And so they know all these things. Gerunds, present perfect, volitional. They know all of these grammatical terms that Monkey has no idea about. They know them in English. Because that's how they learn. This version of Duolingo is hot fire. Maybe I should at least put the owl over here on the couch so he can hang out with us, so that we can pretend we're Duolingoing. Oh dear. I learned my JP after 13. Oh, nice. It's not a hard cutoff, obviously, and some people are gonna be better at picking things up than others, or certain things will jive with you more than others. There's definitely... Monkey's not trying to say that it's impossible to learn any new language to a fluency level after 13. It's definitely possible. It's just... why not take advantage of earlier if you can take advantage of earlier, right? That's all. Why risk it? But I also don't want to discourage anyone who's 13 and above from learning new languages. It will be harder than it would have been when you were a baby, but you didn't learn it as a baby, so who cares if it's harder now? Now is now, you know? You can't make it easier by going back in time, so you might as well do it the way it is now. And you might find out that for you now, it's actually pretty easy. So maybe back then it would have been effortless, but now it takes a little bit of effort, and that's fine. That's totally fine. Monkey-san is too woke. I don't know what you mean. My brain is slightly more plastic than average because I have an anxiety disorder. Yay? Really? I didn't realize that anxiety disorders increase brain plasticity. Maybe it depends on the kind that you have. Because I know there's a lot of different kinds, and they're kind of not too uncommon actually. They're one of the most common disorders right now, and I remember the percentage of the population being surprisingly high. I definitely feel like maybe it's a different kind of plasticity, because for Monkey, when Monkey's feeling anxious, it's this interplay between, yes, my brain is going a million miles a minute and coming up with all sorts of connections that it should not be making. And that might have something to do with plasticity and creating connections where they shouldn't be. But at the same time, Monkey feels really locked in, like to the things that that monkeys learned, like, oh, this is bad, so you absolutely cannot do that. There's no way to make this bad thing good. So I wonder, those are just two different vowels. Neither one is longer than the other. In English, neither one is longer. Now that you mention it, I wonder if there are languages where certain vowels only happen at certain lengths. This is probably the case. I wonder now, though. There's such a thing as monkey talking too much. I'm not sure. I'm always worried that there is. Monkey has always had a reputation. As a baby monkey. Monkey always had the reputation of talking a lot, being the talkative one. I even got a few nicknames that I won't mention. Because Monkey talks so much. So Monkey always wondered if that's a bad thing, you know? Can Monkey talk too much? Probably. Probably. But I'm glad you don't think so. But the O plus U sound in JP is a diphthong, and this is why I hate official terms. It makes sense to me. Is it a diphthong? I will have to speak with a linguist on this, because the O-U sound is written as if it is a diphthong underlyingly. And it may have historically been a diphthong, but as far as Monkey understands in the present day, it is not a diphthong. In the same way that A is spelled E, but is not actually a diphthong. It's just longer, which is why certain words that are spelled unusually, even Japanese people need to watch out for. Like O, like big, is spelled with O, even though it's pronounced the same way as if it was spelled O-U. Because you don't actually make the U sound, it's just O. It's possible there's a minor amount of diphthonging happening that Monkey's not aware of and just hasn't noticed, but for the most part, I believe the long O's are pronounced straight. Mora. How do you say the plural of Mora? Or the singular Morae? There's an E on the end. Are relevant for poets and lyricists in English. Ah, this is fair. I hadn't thought about that, hemoglobin, but you're right. Yeah, I do remember now. My first introduction to Mora might have been in relation to poetry, not linguistics, but I had forgotten about it. Ah, very cool, very cool. Yeah, it's a great example of why when people do the syllable clapping exercise in English to determine how many syllables are in a word, sometimes you can fudge it and it turns out different from what you would expect. It's because there's probably more Mora in there than you realize. What have eels got to do with it now? Eels? Oh, like the moray eels! Yes, the moray eels. Well, they know a lot about linguistics, actually, did you know? They're linguistics experts. And they're also pizza experts. That's why there's that song. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. That's amore eel. They're pizza experts. Hey now, sorry for being late. Was just doing some homework. Hello, A-Fox! Hello! I'm glad you were able to make it. Good luck with your homework. That's good. Do the homeworks. Hopefully fun homeworks. I know some homeworks are less fun, but hopefully fun ones. Hey how monkey are we feeling today? Pretty monkey. Monkey enough that it's been an hour and a half and still Duolingo is not up. Soon. Oh, thumbs up. There was that duo asset that got posted a while ago. It could be cute having him on the table when you duo some lingos. Oh, that's right! Someone made a cute one, right? Oh, I forget. I need to go back and find it or save it. If you happen to remember who posted it or where and could forward it to Monkey somehow. Like throw it in the suggestion box or something. If it's not already there, maybe it's already there. Maybe it is already there. Did you do that already? And oh yes! There it is! Shatter, you're already like a whole month ahead of Monkey's brain. You already posted it to the suggestion box. That's some time travel powers right there. Yes, I agree. That will have to happen. I agree. Fear increases brain plasticity in the moment. Anxiety is fear, basically. Yeah, that's how I feel, right? That's how I feel. Is that the brain, it breaks. The brain breaks when you're having a panic attack. It really sucks, honestly, but... Nah, monkey talking is always good. By all means, keep going, Noel. Oh dear, I'm glad you think so, Shatter. Thank you, thank you. I'm learning so much on this episode of Duolingo-chan. Duolingo! Ah! If I say it enough, then it means we did it, right? Duolingo! Wow! Oh dear. Because I learned some Latin as a kid. And a lot of dino names. Ah! I tend to see connections in European languages. Not Germanic ones, though. That makes sense, that makes sense. Mongoose, how many languages do you speak anyways? Because the more languages you have access to as a kid, the more I assume it's easier to pick up languages as you get older too. And so I wonder, you seem to know. You seem to know a lot. I think it certainly helps. Because your brain's already used to this idea of having multiple languages. Actually, I will check your answers when I get back. Monkey's gonna run to the little monkey's room really quick since it looks like I've caught up. Monkey is present, Monkey! For now. But that means Monkey's gonna take a quick trip to the little monkey's room and then come back. And then maybe we'll get through at least one Duolingo exercise before Monkey has to end stream. We're not super strict on end time today, but it would be better to end close to the 2-hour mark if possible, so yeah. We'll see. I speak too. Ah, no one speaks Latin. I learned to read some. I guess that's true. There are still some people in the Vatican who speak it, but I heard that as a spoken language, it was kind of lost in terms of the kind of language where the speaking of it was lost at some point. So we don't know actually how it used to be pronounced. All pronunciations are now based off of a new legacy of pronunciation. So I guess that makes sense. As much as I love past Monkey, I think the amount of Monkey dwells... I think the amount Monkey dwells on some things does kinda hinder stream activity. Yeah. But I feel like it's just monkey charm at this point. I'm glad you think so, Avox. Oh dear. I speak 3 languages, English, Spanish, and not so good... Not so good what? I'm learning Latin right now during my uni course. Ah, it's pretty cool so far. That sounds pretty cool, and I hear it does really help you with all other Latin languages. Really cool. Okay, I will be right back. I'll be right back. One more. Monkey is back. Okay, should I take this opportunity to... Oh my goodness, look at the time. Let's do at least one exercise of Duolingo so that at least we can say we have done it. That makes it a Duolingo stream, right? Oh dear, oh dear. Alright, let me see if I can get that. Get that on the screen. At least one. No, yeah, just one, and Monkey will be satisfied. Ta-da! Did you know that today we were going to do a Duolingo stream, actually? Perhaps, maybe, perhaps. I'm willing to take 20% of the blame for the delay. Oh, you don't have to. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Monkey, Monkey should probably take the blame, but I appreciate it. Alright. Let's go here. Possib. I guess we'll do some possibs today. Let's give it a try. Start. 私の名前は
次の機会にお願いします。
次の機会にお願いします。Oh, I have to I don't know why they don't save this setting. This I should give them give them feedback. Save my setting for the pronunciation guides for the furigana. I prefer the kana version. Though I could get rid of it altogether, I don't think I'm ready. I need furigana. Monkey is like an improv actor, and we keep tossing in interesting scenarios. True. This is a good analogy. Monkey can't help but grab the cool scenarios that you're giving to Monkey. Also this setting. They always want me to use the word bank, but I want to type. Duolingo didn't have this furigana option when I used it. Yeah, it's pretty new. They added it pretty recently. Maybe a month or... I guess maybe a couple months ago? Yeah, you go up here to settings and you can go between the romanized or the furigana. The regular furigana. Or you can get rid of it altogether. But Monkey needs it. 次の機会には、次の機会にお願い次にhabla. Monkey's mouth doesn't work anymore. 次の機会にお願いします。
次の機会にお願いします。
次の機会にお願いします。That's another thing. 機会に
次の機会にお願いします。
機会に Monkey needs to get better at pitch accent. And when I try to do it consciously, I make it too strong, and then it becomes something else. 機会 means meeting, I guess? 次の機会 or next time? Let's see how they translate it.
機会
opportunity, that's right. Monkey should have known this. 機会 opportunity or chance. How do you translate this to English, actually? This is where translation as a means for learning starts to break down. Because how would you translate this in English? Please at the next chance? Please what at the next chance? In English, you can't really say that in a natural way. I'm leaving it to you at the next chance. Or do it at the next opportunity. Please do it at your next opportunity or at your convenience. Something like that. I don't know. Please do it at the next opportunity, right? Something like that. Now Monkey could cheat, and I could look at the word bank, and I could put together a sentence from the words in the word bank. That would probably be what they wanted, because it's their words. And Monkey has enough of a grasp of English to be able to put together a good English sentence from a word bank. But we're gonna do this hard mode, because why not? At the next opportunity, please. I suppose that makes sense in context of a conversation. At the next opportunity, please. Though there is the implication of to do it. I won't report this one because I guess the do is not implied. I mean, the do is implied, but it's not certain. It could be something else, you know? Please something at the next opportunity. But yeah, this is a hard one. Duolingo unfortunately doesn't permit much variation from their specific answer. Yeah, that's why Monkey's been trying to help a lot. When I think something is actually should be accepted, you can go in here, report, and say my answer should be accepted. Monkey's been doing that a lot. But for this one, I think I'll accept. I'll accept that Monkey's answer wasn't as good as it could have been. Sister now. Rajan! Is that you? Welcome! I see your name's changed a little bit. Welcome back to the Tianshi Club. We'll probably be ending soon-ish, but I'm glad you could make it. Monkey's laughing because I'm saying we're ending soon, even though this is literally the first question of Duolingo we've done today, but Monkey gets distracted. Their specific answer is often slavishly literal. Sometimes. Or sometimes they have specific ways they want to say it, like desuyo becomes you know. How are you, little sister? Doing pretty well. How about you? How you doing? Soon-ish? Yeah, soon-ish, I think. We're coming up on 2 hours now, right? That's about as long as Monkey can probably go. These days. But we'll see. Today I think we'll cut it off around there. But we're a little flexible, so we'll at least try to finish this. We'll try to finish at least one Duolingo practice first. Well, I've had a major upgrade to my lion form, and I've changed my name. Oh, I see. Oh, sounds like fun. 値引きしてくれませんか? 値引きしてくれませんか? 値引き? What's 値引き? 値引きして。Oh, she's haggling. She's haggling. 値引きしてくれませんか? That's why Monkey doesn't know this word. I see. くれませんか? Please give me a discount. Or won't you give me a discount? してくれませんか? 値引きしてくれませんか? Won't you give me a discount? Something like that. Could you give me a discount? But they took this actually. Won't you give me a discount? So that they have some flexibility, which is nice. They now have the powers of a manticore and the great Galsei lion. Oh, that's a lot. Sounds like a risky gambit. Might just end up with her banned from the shop. I guess you gotta know your context, right? Some places haggling is the norm, and some places it is not. Monkey does much better in places when it is not, because Monkey is really bad at haggling. I assume you can kind of see why Monkey would be bad at haggling. I just can't do it. I can't. I don't click into that mode. I can't do it. But some people are very good at it. And some places it's expected. So if you don't, it's a bad thing. Well, I mean, it's not a terrible thing. I'm sure the seller will be very happy, but you'll definitely be overpaying. Power of asking nicely shouldn't be discounted, as it were. Also true, right? Also true. Sometimes if you ask nicely, it can't hurt. And if they say no, you just accept it respectfully. And then everything's fine. How do you say discount? We just learned this. Well, it's certainly not these. This is yama.
Yama.
And tsuki.
Tsuki.
Or getsu. Gatsu. And this is something biki. Something biki.
Nebiki.
Nebiki. Nebiki. Nebiki. I'm gonna look up what those kanji mean. So that, sometimes for Monki, the kanji are a great mnemonic to sort of remember what things mean. So, ne is price value cost, and biki, like hiki, hiku, to pull. So, to pull the cost is the discount. That makes sense. Okay, nebiki.
またの機会にしましょう。
またの機会にしましょう。またの機会にしましょう。Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it when we get the chance. また is not like next, but when the chance arises.
またの
Mata kind of next or again. Next chance.
またの
When you understand the sentence more or less, but don't know how to say it in a different language because the other language doesn't say these things. またの機会にしましょう。その next chance, again chance. Okay, we'll just say let's do it at the next chance and see if they take it. Let's do it at the next opportunity. Okay.
どこかでお会いしましたか?
It's interesting because mata and tsugi, they use both here and they translate them both as next. They have slightly different nuances, but in English it's both next. One thing about Japanese pitch accent, there are so many dialects that many tend to just use common sense to know you mean bridge and not a chopstick. True. どこかで愛しましょう。愛しましたか？どこかで愛しましたか？ So, どこか Where did you meet? どこかで愛しましたか？
どこかでお会いしましたか?
Oh, I missed an O. どこかでお会いしましたか? Where did you meet? どこかでお会いしましたか? Have we seen each other somewhere before? どこかでお会いしましたか? Oh, somewhere で
お会いしましたか?
met question mark. Did we meet somewhere? Not where. どこ is where. どこか is somewhere. We met somewhere. Met somewhere. Ah! Monkey has the biggest problem with these question words with the ka at the end. For some reason, Monkey's brain, I understand it, I've learned it, but Monkey's brain has not wrapped itself around the idea yet. This is a good reminder. There is a standard manual of pronunciation for newscasters. The bit like BBC English, I suppose. Oh yeah. It's like, yeah, English also has a lot of different accents, right? And one that was really popular, what was really popular amongst newscasters up until now was called the transatlantic. It was not a natural dialect or a natural accent. It was a composed accent that was made to make it as clear as possible to understand by English speakers, regardless of whether you have a American English accent or a British English accent, which is why they called it the transatlantic. And it was made specifically for radio casts, where the understanding of the pronunciation is very important. It's very cool.
食べないとお腹が空きます。
食べないとお腹が空きます。If you don't eat, you will be hungry. Or your stomach will be empty. 食べないとお腹が空きます。Let's see how they translate this grammatical term to. If. Yeah, I guess so. 食べないと you will be hungry. 食べないとお腹が空きます。
食べないとお腹が空きます。
If you do not eat, you will get hungry. Context. Context.
会うのを楽しみにしています。
会うのを楽しみにしています。会うのを楽しみにしています。I am pleased to meet you, I guess. 会うのを楽しみにしています。
会うのを楽しみにしています。
会うのを楽しみにしています。Wow. Monkey's trying to learn to speak at a more natural pace too. This is something that Monkey has been starting to drill recently, but it's very difficult.
会うのを楽しみにしています。
会うのを楽しみにしています。This one's just a tongue twister, okay?
会うのを楽しみにしています。
会うのを楽しみにしています。Like many tongue twisters, you just gotta go for it. If you think about the sounds, it breaks down. You gotta think about the meaning. 会うのを楽しみにしています。I don't even know if I said it correctly, but I hope I did. Here's the dang gerund. The gerunds. I'm looking forward to seeing you. 会うのを楽しみにしています。Oh, I guess 楽しみに implies it's in the future. Like, 楽しみ is looking forward to, not, 嬉しい, which is now. Okay, that I understand. I'm looking forward to meeting you.
横浜の人口はどのくらいですか？
横浜の人口はどのくらいですか？人口 is like population?
の人口は
横浜の人口はどのくらいですか？
横浜の人口はどのくらいですか？
横浜の人口はどのくらいですか？ She speaks slower, little easier to copy. What's the population of Yokohama?
オバマ先生は横浜に住んでいます。
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 オバマ先生は横浜に住んでいます。So, Teacher Obama. We'll go with Miss Obama lives in Yokohama. Professor Obama. Oh, that's one way to do it. Professor Obama lives in Yokohama. 横浜先生、オバマ先生は横浜に住んでいます。
横浜でオバマ先生に会いました。
I always remember it as mouths to feed. Oh, as in population is the mouths to feed. Oh, that's an interesting way of remembering it. Oh. I don't know how I remembered it. It just kind of came to mind based on the context, I guess. Obama? Obama is actually a Japanese... a Japanese surname. It exists in Japanese. Not that I know the president. I don't think the president's Japanese, but... Sometimes surnames exist across cultures. Lee is a common one that exists across a lot of cultures. Alright, what did they say?
横浜でオバマ先生に会いました。
Okay. Yokohama. Oh, so this is how you spell Yokohama? That's cute, because Hama is seaside. Yoko? I don't know if I know. Yokohama. Hama is like shore, I guess you could say, or beach? Yokohama. The side. Yeah, so it kind of means seaside. Yokohama. That's cute. I like that. Yokohama de Obama sensei. Is that how you spell Obama? Is that how they spelled it before? It's cute. That must be at least one way of spelling it. Obama? I guess so. Obama is a small seashore. But let's put it in kana, just in case, because we don't know how Obama spells their name. Yokohama de Obama sensei ni aimasu.
横浜でオバマ先生に会いました。
aimashita. Okay. Yokohama de Obama sensei ni aimashita.
横浜でオバマ先生に会いました。
Sensei ni Obama sensei ni aimashita.
横浜でオバマ先生に会いました。
Yokohama de Obama sensei ni aimashita. Okay. Side. Side. Seaside. The seaside side. Yokohama de Obama sensei ni aimashita. That's it. You see? You see this? They require that I use the kanji. That's gotta be it. That I need to learn Obama. Fine, but I'm going to report this because names are names. Answer should be accepted. Continue. 学生だと値引きがあります。学生だと値引きがあります。学生だと値引きがあります。学生だと値引きがあります。Because I'm a student, there's a discount. That's nice. Student discounts are great. Students are important. 学生だと値引きがあります。学生だと値引きがあります。学生だと値引きがあります。If you are a student, there's a discount. Okay, I'm reporting this one, two. Not this. Answer should be accepted. 学生だと Can to be because? Yeah, because as means because. So as I'm a student, there's a discount. I think this should be allowed. Dato doesn't really mean because. That would be dakara. Dakara exists. But da as in am. So desu, the plain form of desu. So gakusei. So that means I am a student. Hold on. Now Monkey's going to check. I got this wonderful book recently. I love it so much. Maybe I'll recommend it to all of you because it is an incredible book. It's called A Dictionary of Basic Japanese Grammar by Seiichi Makino and Michio Tsutsui. a dictionary of basic Japanese grammar, and it's this great reference. Okay, so to, a particle which lists things exhaustively, that's not the one. To, as in a particle marking the NP, which maintains a reciprocal relationship with the subject of a clause. With, as, from. No, that doesn't seem right either. Nope, not this one. To, a particle which marks a quotation, sound, or the manner in which SOST does ST. That with the sound of in the manner of. Doesn't seem quite right either. To, conjunction. A subordinate conjunction which marks a condition that brings about an uncontrollable event or state. So, ニューヨークに行くと面白い店がたくさんある. If you go to New York, there are many interesting shops. So, if slash when. I see. Okay, I suppose I understand. It is only an if. It is not an implication of because. Okay. Interesting. Oh. Okay. Well, that's exactly what Duo said. Yeah. The Duo got it right. Monkey got it wrong. It's like since, maybe? No, it's less like since and more like if. That's Monkey's bad. Well, it's more like if you are a student. Yeah. I would have said there is a discount for students. Well, I would have said in English, if you wanted to translate this to natural speech, you might just say there's a student discount. There's a student discount. But that would be the most natural English. But if we're trying to go word for word, there you might say there's a discount if you are a student. That's also more natural, that clause order. But in English you can say if you are a student, there is a discount. So I suppose that's acceptable if you want to do the most one-to-one. And I guess Duo is more about the one-to-one because it wants to make sure you understand what's being said. Word by word rather than as a concept. Though I think the as a concept honestly is what we're aiming for when we're learning a language. Yeah. Okay.
オバマさんに会った。
I met Miss Obama. I don't suppose they know what Mix Obama is. We'll see if they take it. おばまさんに会った。Ah! They take it but they consider it a typo. You know what? I'm okay with this. I'm fine with that. Well, I'll report it just so that they think about it. Oh, should not be accepted. Nope, this is great. This is fine. This is fine. Matching pairs. 私 猫 Manga. This is definitely manga. I don't have it memorized, but when I look at it and I look at the options, I can tell.
Manga.
Which is supposed to be like picture, like expressive picture, something like that. Silly picture, I think is what it means. Like comic. Shower. And Nebiki. I'm gonna have to remember that one. Nebiki. Frivolous pictures? Yeah, I guess so. It's not a common word outside of manga, is it? Manga. Manga goes down, doesn't it? Manga. I'm trying to think. I've seen this character elsewhere, but I don't remember where. Oh. Okay. Nebiki, I know this one.
Nebiki.
Oh! It's our friend who's a little bit tired. Nebiki. This looks familiar. I should know it. Shimi. Something G. Oh man. Kanji is the kind of thing where sometimes Monkey remembers and sometimes it just goes away. I'm just gonna cheat. Kanji. This is definitely kanji.
Kanji.
Kanji. Kanji. Kanji. I wonder. So this is the kanji for feeling. What is the pitch accent for kanji for writing, I wonder? Oh well.
Kanji.
Kanji. Kanji. Nano kanji. This is something tone. Oh. What do we have here? This is a mi. Mi. Kanashimi. Kanashimi. I thought this was sad. Okay, kanashimi.
Kanashimi.
Kanashimi. This is I, shi, rashi. Sobarashi. Subarashi. Ah, subarashi. Oh, interesting. I don't know this character, but this character here, Chinese is qing, like clear, fresh. Has a positive connotation. So, subarashi has that in it. Subarashi.
Subarashi.
And so that makes this futsu. Oh, this looked familiar. Futsu. I learned this recently.
普通。
I learned, I mean, I looked it up in the dictionary and then promptly forgot. Futsu. Kanji. 難しいんです。そうですね。Plain, normal. 普通。
オバマさんのおばあさんは横浜に行ったことがありますか？
I didn't even hear the sentence. Something happened to our tired friend. かぼちゃになりました? I guess it's the spooky season. Why has she become a pumpkin? It's kinda cute. Is everyone else gonna gradually transform into pumpkins? What does it mean? She's the only one. Has a bad connotation though. You think so? Futsu? I think futsu doesn't have a bad connotation any more than the word normal does. Cause like if you say normally, I walk to school, so 普通に歩いていく学校に歩いていく something like that. I don't know actually, that was a terrible example, but I think you can say normally I do this. Halloween? I guess so! Something seems different here. Did they do something with their hair? Yeah, I kind of like what they did there, I guess. It looks cool with their hair. She's bored out of her gourd. You're right! Oh, guess that's why you gotta start with her. It's a spooky month. She sure surprised me, that's for sure. I guess I wasn't spooked, but I was surprised. Hey something is worse. Hey ping something. Hey bang. Commonplace, mediocre, unremarkable. Oh. Is that why the typical pitch accent is called heibang? Maybe. In some contexts, if you say futsu in response to a question on how you liked something, for example. Well that doesn't make futsu bad though, right? It's like okay. Okay is not actually a bad word, it can mean positive things too, but in context, if you ask, how is the food? And you go, it's okay. It's not really praise, right? I see what you mean. But that's less of the word itself, and that's more an element of rhetoric, I would say. Oh, what's the word? There's a word for using rhetoric where you're softening it by not saying how terrible something is and just making it sound less terrible. That's the kind of rhetorical device it is, but it doesn't reflect on the word itself per se until the word becomes used majority-wise in that context. Heibon. Oh, heibon. Not heibon. Monkey misread. Heibon. Oh, I haven't actually heard it before. Mediocre. I guess that's why Monkey hasn't heard it. It's probably because it's not a very nice word. Just by connotation. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Could futsu be translated as basic then, maybe? Maybe. I would just say normal, right? Because sometimes people were like... People might say like, yeah, how is the food? And you go, it was normal. It was normal. It's not really praise. So basic, it might have that kind of meaning, but basic seems to mean more like... In English, basic is like... Can also mean the beginning, right? The first. Like beginning level, basic level English. And I don't think futsu has that connotation. Context counts, I guess. Well, yeah, it does. Is this the monkey? Oh, hello, my kid. Welcome. Did I make it back in here? You did. Welcome back to the TST Club. Can be used for modesty. I'm pretty normal. Yeah, that too. I don't know how you manage it, but when I see you live, I just have to click. Greetings from Australia, monkey. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Thanks for coming by. Hi monkey, had to go out today, but glad I could still catch some of the stream. Oh, hello, Best Squid. Welcome. Good to see you. Actually, yeah, I'm glad both of you could catch. I'm actually quite a bit over what I was planning to stream today, but luckily we're a little bit flexible today, so I'm glad I was able to stream long enough to catch both of you. I'll probably finish up once we're done with this particular lesson. I think that's as far as Monkey can go today. But I'll make it to the end of the lesson first. Fingers crossed. We've been having a hard time staying on task today. Obama-san no... let's let her say it first.
Obama-san no おばあさんは横浜に行ったことがありますか?
Obama-san no お母さん、おばあさんは横浜に行ったことがありますか? Has Mix Obama. Let's try this again. Mix Obama's mother been to Yokohama? おばあさんのおばあさんは横浜に行ったことがありますか?
オバマさんのおばあさんは横浜に行ったことがありますか?
おばあさんのおばあさんは横浜に行ったことがありますか? That part's a little hard for me. に
行ったことがあります。オバマさんのおばあさんは横浜に行ったことがありますか?
おばまさんのおばあさんは横浜に行ったことがありますか? Monkey's practicing speaking smoothly. Grandmother? おばあさん. This is what I mean by vowel length is important. This is a very important one. おばあさん is longer than おばさん. おばあさん is older than おばさん. Be careful, because if you call someone おばさん and they're about the age for like a mother, that's perfectly fine. But if you call them おばあさん and they're about the age for a mother but not a grandmother, then it's not okay. That's not nice. Understandable. Well, I still have the VOD to check out. Oh yes, oh yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you check out the VOD, spoiler alert, this is going to be our last lesson today. This is also going to be our first lesson today. We may have had trouble staying on task, but we did talk a lot about language, so... Still counts? What is the ex-president's mom doing in Japan? Well, Obama is actually... not the most common, but not uncommon as a Japanese surname, turns out. Yeah, we expect there to be a glottal stop between ni and ita, and it's not there, and so they sound like they're the same word. Yeah, it just kind of gets munched together with natural speech. Asakuchi ni nattara nute te ni wa haっきり見えるよ。Alright, we're gonna check. 早口になったら、慌ててにはっきり見えるよ。If you speak too fast, 慌ててにはっきり見えるよ。I'm going to need to translate that word by word. 慌てて、慌てる。To be confused, 慌ててに、はっきり見えるよ。はっきり見えるよ。What does that mean? It looks... You are able to see confusion? You can clearly see confusion? Monkey confused. We meaning native English speakers here. Yes. Ni ta to sama ni ne. Ni ta. おようにね。そうですね。にた。Let's have her say it again.
オバマさんのおばあさんは横浜に行ったことがありますか？
にた。Yeah, I guess so. It's like a long ni, but then there's a small tsu. And how do you combine a long vowel with a short vowel? That must be what's throwing Monkey off. Because it's like when you're doing music and you gotta go on the offbeat. That's what's happening here. Because there's two full beats, but then you shorten the second one. So it's 1.5 beats of the E and then the ta. Ni ta. If you talk too fast, it will clearly look like you are flustered. Oh, I see. Maybe, huh?
彼女と会う機会がありました。
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 The chance to meet her is here. Something like that. 彼女と会う機会がありました。
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 彼女と会う機会がありました。I had the opportunity to meet her. Oh, ありました past tense. Also, what is happening here? Monkey's brain seems to be melting. I think it's about that time. Verb ends in ta. Yeah. Monkey is missing small things here. I can't even type English anymore. Monkey brain.
カレーを食べるとお肌が痛くなります。
カレーを食べるとお肌が痛くなります。Oh, そうですか? That's too bad.
カレーを食べるとお肌が痛くなります。
カレーを食べるとお腹が痛くなります。If I eat curry, my stomach will hurt. Something like that. That's unfortunate. Monkey loves カレー。カレーを食べるとお腹が痛くなります。Now, phonetically, that could also mean there was a machine that fit her. A machine? Oh, like... Oh, monkey's brain not working. Kikai. Kikai is in the long form for vending machine, right? Voice says ohara. Furigana says onaka. You're right! You're right!
カレーを食べるとお肌が痛くなります。
Thank you. I was confused. I thought it was just me. お肌が痛くなります。We should report it. We should report that for them. The audio or the dictionary hints. Something is wrong. Not dictionary hints, I guess. Something else. Something like this, I guess. Submit. Okay. Kikai. Yeah, different kanji. When they put a to on the end of a verb, it means always. Oh. So in this case, you could say when I eat curry. Really? Always? I don't know that conjugation. She does say when here. So when I looked up in the grammar book, the to, it actually said the if is something that you cannot change. So in fact, I think regardless, the to here, whether you say if, when you say if, you actually mean when, like every time. Or it is inevitable. I know, I went to do groceries. It's a bit far, but I do need to go for walks. Ah, Hiki, hello, welcome back. Yeah, getting groceries is a good excuse to get a walk. I agree. It means no exceptions. Consistent result. Yeah. Without exception, curry makes her belly hurt. Which in English, this does actually imply as well. My stomach will hurt if I eat curry. Means no exceptions as well. It just has a different implication. If has a different implication because it can be used. How can it be used in English? It can be used completely theoretically, I guess you could say. Whereas, when means that it's more concrete. It's a little hard to explain the nuance. Oh, let's review the exercises you missed. Look how much Monkey missed this time. This shows you how much monkey brain isn't working right now.
次の機会にお願いします。
Also shows monkey should probably stop soon. 次の機会にお願いします。This one was because they wanted us to say it a specific way. Specific way? Monkey brain. Alright. Next. Opportunity, please. At the next opportunity, please, let's say. 次の機会にお願いします。
どこかでお会いしましたか？
どこかでお会いしましたか？ Have we met somewhere? どこかでお会いしましたか？ Or have we seen each other somewhere? That works too.
会うのを楽しみにしています。
会うのを楽しみにしています。So I'm looking forward to seeing you. 会うのを楽しみにしています。Would monkey brain have worked better without the delay? It is possible. It is possible because monkey brain's gotten a bit tired out and also has gotten a bit caffeinated. I noticed this with for example, when we play Baba Is You, near the beginning monkey brain is fresh, and then after a while monkey brain tires out and can't do anything anymore. It's not that bad, but it has an effect. Are we looking good on time? It's okay. We're actually quite over time. much more overtime than Monkey was expecting. But we're gonna finish this Duolingo. I think it should go quickly from here on out. We're gonna finish this lesson and then we'll close out for today. But thank you for checking, Eduardo. That's helpful. Monkey brain have a delay? Yeah! Monkey brain delay. Monkey brain is lagging.
横浜でオバマ先生に会いました。
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 横浜でオバマ先生に会いました。オバマ先生？Yeah, as you can see, they have kanji here for Obama, the name, because it's actually a Japanese name. Not necessarily the famous Obama. I don't know that his name came from Japanese. Maybe it came from somewhere else. But Obama is not an unusual last name in Japan. Somebody's hungry for knowledge. Me! Oh!
学生だと値引きがあります。
学生だと値引きがあります。If you're a student, there's a discount. Ta-da! Well, that's cool. We learn something new every day, right? Pretty cool, huh? Learning about overlapping names is funny too. Like I mentioned, Lee is a common surname across many cultures. Jun is a cute one that's a Japanese name but also an English name. Mei is very common in English and it also exists in Chinese. Did not come from Japanese. That was just a pure coincidence. Oh, I see. I was wondering because I don't know much about the famous Obama. I just know that I heard that he was born in Hawaii. He grew up in Hawaii, which has a large Japanese population. So I wasn't sure if there might be a relationship there. Discount hype. Discount hype! Yeah. Ken. Ken is a good one, huh? Though Ken is not so much a name in Japanese as it is a word. Is it? Maybe they do have people named Ken. I'm not sure. Seems like quite a name. Seeing languages converge is always really interesting. His father was from Kenya. Oh! I've met some Japanese Kens. Oh! Do you think that's because it became popular after they learned about the English name Ken? Because I know there's like Kenichi sort of names, where Ken is part of the name, and then maybe Ken could be a nickname for that. Or do you think it's a name that has existed prior to contact with the Western languages? It's usually short for something. That's what I thought. Hard to guess. Yeah, there are definitely names that get more popular because they're from a different language and they thought it, or the fact that it's overlapping with a different language makes it popular. Alright.
オバマさんのおばあさんは横浜に行ったことがあります
I
か
forgot she looks like this. Nobody else is dressed up yet. But I guess it makes sense that she would be the most excited for Spooky Month. Out of all the characters, she's definitely the most ready for Halloween.
オバマさんのおばあさんは横浜に行ったことがありますか
オバマさんのおばあさんは横浜に行ったことがありますか Has Miss Obama grandmother been to Yokohama? There we go. Hana is a name in Japanese and some Slavic languages like Czech. The meanings are different though. Ah, yeah! Hana is also a little bit like the English name Hannah. I wonder if the English name has any relationship to the Slavic name. Naomi is a Japanese name and a Hebrew name. That one always gets me. I always thought of it as a Japanese name, but then you see a bunch of non-Japanese people named Naomi. And Monkey got confused for a while. So it's Hebrew, that's where it comes from. Very cute. It shows how much overlap there is in human phonetics, I guess. I wonder if there's a draw to certain sounds and combinations of sounds amongst humans, and that's why the languages can have these overlaps. The name Dolores means sad, and I always wondered why it's a name if that's the case. Oh! I did not know that, really? And it's such a cute name, too. That is kind of... Oh, that kind of name would be illegal in... in China or Japan. I don't know about illegal, but I remember hearing there are some guidelines that are actually rules of what a legal name can be, and it can't be something it can't be something potentially unlucky. Naomi is a Hebrew name. That's super interesting, right? Ill-fated if you believe such things. Yeah, kind of. Well, maybe it's this sort of thing. There was a time where, maybe in China this is still allowed. There was a time where in China, the first name you gave to your baby, back in the days when it was very unsure whether a new baby would survive or not, the first name you give to your baby, because babies get, people in China have lots of names, and so there's the first name. The first name was usually something inauspicious or even a little bit insulting, like ugly baby. Because they thought that if they made their baby look unappealing to certain spirits, then the spirits would leave them alone until they got old enough that the spirits didn't want them anymore. It was sort of a protective aspect. Rather than being too auspicious about the name and having the baby be then taken, then instead they're like, oh, you don't want this baby. So maybe you name them Sadness as a wish for happiness. It's the sort of don't jinx it mentality, right? It feels bad when you're all excited and expecting something good and then something bad happens. But it feels better if you're like, oh, it'll be terrible, and then something good happens. And so we get this idea that, oh, we can jinx it. And you don't want to jinx it. Alright, one more.
彼女と会う機会がありました。
I think this is the last one. 彼女と会う機会がありました。 I had a chance to meet her. Something like that. 彼女と会う機会がありました。Nice! Nice! We made it! This baby stinks. You don't want this one. It has a bad rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Exactly. Exactly. Your baby won't get spirited away if it's got such a bad review, right? Whereas Taro, or Fat Child, is more optimistic, hoping he puts on weight rather than starves. Yeah, makes sense, makes sense. In fact, being overweight versus underweight has been preferable throughout human history as far as Monkey understands. Because even in the modern day, actually, people who are overweight have a higher chance of survival than people who are underweight. So if you gotta be one way or the other, you kind of want to lean towards that side. Skip. Okay. Monkey did it! We did a lesson today, can you believe it? Somehow we made it. Alright, let's go back to the comfy room. We probably gotta wrap things up. Monkey's gotta run. Oh my goodness. We are now at least 45 minutes over as long as Monkey was meaning to stream today. Yeah, Monkey's gotta run before I before I compact everything else in my day too much. Alright, let's go back to the comfy room. Ta-da! Okay. I think in old times, like medieval, being overweight meant you were rich. Can't confirm though. There's been an actual, a strange... Yes, there's been a strange shift in cultural perception of body size, because in the past, everything that was caloric enough to allow you to become overweight, and even having enough food in general to become overweight, was something that you could only do if you are rich, right? Or well off enough to purchase those fancy foods or that amount of food. It was only with the Industrial Revolution that that processed food somehow became cheaper than fresh food, because processed food lasts longer. Processing through industrial means, I mean, not like the old style processing of milling wheat or preserving things through fermentation. That type of stuff is still pretty normal. But the new processes that were invented were able to preserve very calorically high but nutrient poor foods in a way to make it easy to ship and mass produce, whereas fresh foods have always been difficult to keep, right? That's why we have pickles and stuff. And nutrient-rich foods tend to be fresh or preserved through old-style means, right? Even when it comes to things like rice, the more nutritious rice, brown rice, spoils faster because it has oils and stuff in it. And therefore nowadays, due to industrialization, it is more expensive because you can't sell it in bulk quantities like you can with white rice. Whereas back in the day, brown rice would have been the cheap rice that the people who made the rice would eat because it took less processing. And the white rice would be not only took more processing and therefore was more fancy, but also was able to ship long distances, and so rich people could afford to have, rich people could afford to hoard it. I guess you could say. So it used to be that way, and after industrialization, a lot of this flipped. And because this flipped, that also meant that culturally, people with less means started eating more calorically dense, nutrient-poor food because that was what was available to them in their price bracket. Once that started happening, this idea of being overweight being associated with being poor solidified itself in the cultural consciousness, which then meant that rich people, always wanting to differentiate themselves from poor people, decided that being overweight wasn't cool anymore. What was cool is being rich enough to buy fresh foods and exercise and do that sort of thing. Oh, Industrial Revolution contributed to the amount of exercise people get too, because rather than the majority of unskilled labor being very physically demanding, it's still physically demanding, but the majority of labor period is now relatively stationary and doesn't use a lot of energy, and so therefore being able to take time away from working to exercise became a status symbol. So all of this caused a strange flip to happen. And so the cultural perception from the past and the present is strangely unaligned, but it shows how plastic human cultures are too. How our impressions of things are shaped by what's around us, not necessarily always by tradition. I'm getting distracted again, aren't I? Where was I? Always believe. No. Believe in... Wait, what did you believe in, chapter? Monkey's tangents means monkey forgets everything. Bye, Monkey-san. Bye, Eduardo. Oh, yes. Oh boy, look at the time. Yes. We should say our goodbyes. Fast food joints were often built in lower income neighborhoods first. Well, fast food is also sort of associated with not having the time to eat, right? If you're rich, you can always do those 12-course meals. I mean, makes sense. The tasty food would be given to royalty, and we all know most tasty food aren't healthy. Well, actually, there's plenty of tasty, healthy foods out there. But the types of foods that we're inclined to binge on, I think. The kinds that we're inclined to binge on, it's the binging that makes it unhealthy. Like, sugar is good for you in small amounts. Starch is good for you. Salt is good for you. Oils are good for you. But if you have too much of them, if you overeat them, then they get excessive, right? So it's the stuff that we can't help ourselves from eating lots and lots of. That's when it becomes unhealthy. Thank you for the stream, though. We got to talk for quite a while. It's true! And even managed to do a lingo! A single lingo! We do out a single lingo! Hashtag love Tianshi. Oh, thank you, Shatter! Thank you so much! Thank you for coming! I really enjoyed chatting! There was a scandal of horse meat used in cheap lasagnas once. I find that confusing. I would have thought horse meat would be harder to get and so more expensive than beef. That's what I was thinking. When I heard the scandal, I thought to myself, so you're telling me that we got an upgrade and they didn't even tell us? Secretly, upgrade in meat. I always believed that Noah could finish a Duolingo lesson. Mama. Oh, I see. Thank you, Shatter. Thank you for your faith. Even I wasn't sure. But we made it. Okay, and oh my goodness. We're a few minutes out from this being a 3-hour stream when it was meant to be a 2-hour stream. Oh dear. This is what happens when Monkey isn't strict with myself about time. I'll need to be more careful in the future, but... still, I'm glad we were able to spend this time together. I had a great time. I hope you did too. And I'll see you all again soon. Very likely on Thursday. We'll keep the next stream on Thursday. And we'll keep it at this time. That's Monkey's prediction. That's the most likely. We'll give it a try. Typical Monkey hours. Yeah. Best of luck on the schedule of the rest of your day. Thank you, hemoglobin. Tip: start the app before the stream. The problem is actually doing it though. We've definitely had streams where we stare at a game the whole time and never actually play it. No, we always play at least a little bit. Always at least a little, right? Yes, thanks for the stream. Thank you, Best Squid. Thanks for coming. Bye bye, we'll be there. Sounds great. I'll see you there. Thank you all so much. Okay, so I better say now. And with this meeting of the TST Club is now officially adjourned. Thank you all so much for coming. Let me get those pancakes. Oh, feel free, have some. Alright, thank you so much everyone. I will see you soon. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye for now. Yeah, bye for now. Bye bye.